Alright, this is how I service my saws. This is my 372 XP non-X torque. Same one as in the other videos. Dual port muffler, unlimited coil, all that good stuff. This is how I service mine. The bar is off of it right now. There's a video I did of how I service my bars. You can check that out. It's pretty good. This is how I service my saws. This is going to be kind of a quick run over on everything I like to do with mine. And this saw I've had for 4 years, but before it's been all rebuilt. So this saw, the piston and cylinder and everything on the saw could be upwards of 10 years old, and they're in really good shape. There's no scoring, nothing, no browning in it. Didn't ever run too hot. The case and everything has no leaks in it, no air leaks, nothing like that. I do pressure vacuum test on mine. I'm not going to do it now. This is just a cleaning video. I'm just going to go through, clean it, do my basic service to it. I know my lighting isn't the greatest, but you'll have to bear with me. But first thing I do is take bar off, and I did my bar. Take the side cover and go and blow it all off. There might be some of me off camera, but just blow the bar cover all off real good. Excuse me, not bar cover, clutch cover. You gotta get your terms right here. But blow all that off. Take your paper towel, and I'm really picky with my saws. I like them to be clean. I go through and wipe everything down really well. If I didn't have my brand new sticker on the side here, right here, I'd put this in a parts washer and wash it. Brake cleaner works really well for this. Just spray some brake cleaner, even spray it on paper towel, wipe it all off. I wipe all this off, wipe all the cover, really focus on the sticker. Wipe the dog off, all this. Make sure my chain guide is in place. What I do to keep mine in is every once in a while I'll take some super glue and super glue them on there to keep it in place. I really like to have that on there, it helps. Keep your dust flap in place, make sure those are tight. Screwdriver, Phillips head. Go through, tighten the tensioner, cover, chain, dust flap, dogs. That's all good. Take a little bit of penetrating oil just for the heck of it. Spray it on the tensioner. That's good to go. Clutch cover's good to go. Now we're on to the saw. Go and first off I'll blow all this out, blow everything out front, around the muffler, underneath, just blow it all off real good and do that. When you're doing this, make sure you're blowing out the screw holes, because they'll get sawdust down and you can't get them. Just make sure it just stays just that. Just blow them out as you're doing this. I go always, and while I'm doing it, I blow around the clutch right here, blow all around in here. We'll get in that in a second. Okay, that's good. If anyone asks what this is, it's an adapter for a still bar. That's what I'm running on right now, just a still bar. Take a paper towel, go through, wipe all this down real good, bar plate, around a clutch, the dog, wipe it down, all the plastic around it, handlebars, chain breaker on top, wipe it down real good, get all the crud off of it, makes it where you don't have the piston all dirty and everything, or not the piston, the cylinder head, because you get a bunch of crud in there and it'll get on there. Get you I like T-handled Allen wrenches, you have to use them. Tightening the dogs up, I'm just making sure they're tight. Tighten up the spring, chain brake screw, case screw, tension or chain brake mechanism. The chain brake's behind here, spring and everything. Make sure these are tight. There's 2 more screws. Well, we'll do that in a second. Handlebar, that one's actually stripped out. Handlebar's tight. Underneath. Shortcut screwdriver, take the bar plate off. Get it on there. The adapter comes off. On the adapter, all you have to do is just use the original bar plate screw, put it in there, screw down on the bar plate. Take the bar plate off, blow it out, wipe it off real good. It's good to do this, it keeps the boiler clean. And then you have underneath here, you have the exposed part, blow all this off, blow all off around the oil output. Wipe it off real good, wipe really well around the oil output, get all it done. Tighten up these screws right here. These are 2 other screws. If you ever need to get into the chain brake, take this one, these 4 screws out, get into the chain brake spring and everything. If you do, it's not going to be fun. I've messed with them and they're a pain. Put the plate back on, put your screw back in this case the adapter. Make sure it's snug. Real good. And then now we'll go on, flip over to flathead, take the clutch off. Take the little E-cup off, pop that off, retaining washer, sprocket, I got an 8-2 sprocket on there right now, it's Oregon. Drum off, bearing. Take the saw, blow out in here. Blow all that out, go down in here, make sure the oil pump screws are tight. There's 2 on it. Make sure it's good and tight. Go through on the clutch drum, wipe it out really well. I like to keep it clean. This is an Oregon clutch drum. It's old, it needs to be replaced, but I haven't done it yet. Keep all that clean, get all that wiped out. Get some grease, any grease, whatever works. Pull this off, take your bearing. What I do first is go inside, put a little bit inside, and take a file or a screwdriver, something small you can fit in here, and just run it all around on the inside. Don't push the needle bearings out, just nice and easy, just run it around the inside there. Whatever is left you can kind of scoop out, put it on the outside. If you need some more. Run it all around the outside, get it greased up real well. Get that done. Grease them back together here. Bearing grease or just regular grease works. Next off, getting this put back together. Take a clutch drum, put it on. Kind of, you can see where the grooves are. You're trying to get your oil worm gear lined up. Get the what's it called? The grooves here on the drum lined up with the oil pump. Set it on there. Get your flashlight where you can see. If I can find mine. Turn it over to where you can see and just make sure that's lined up. I don't put the bearing on because it gives you a little bit more room to see. That's lined up. Take your bearing. Push your bearing back in there. Push it down in there. Put the sprocket back on. Retaining washer. E-clip, get your pair of pliers, needle nose, put that bearing or E-clip on there and just squeeze it back on. That's going to turn it, make sure it turns and everything. And when you're done, I always start this up and make sure it oils, just make sure I got it all done and everything. We'll call this part 1. We'll make part 2 here in a second so my camera doesn't run out of space, but we'll come back for part 2.